All right, of my update videos here for what's going to happen and the changes coming soon for Google for education in 2021. So February, not November of 2021. So I like this one's all about Google Classroom and about some of the updates. And I really like in the blog post or keyword blog, the line they said or the paragraph, and I'm just going to read right from it. It says, "We first built Google Classroom to simplify and improve teaching and learning. We wanted to help teachers build stronger connections with students and give them back time to focus on things that made them want to teach in the first place. As more teachers use Classroom as their hub of learning during the pandemic, many schools are treating it as their learning management system." So that's what they're going to start to do is build it into more of an LMS, right? We've often heard that, Google Classroom isn't an LMS, right? It's not meant to be a competitor to Blackboard or to Canvas because it's just not. It's a hub. Well, they're going to start to add some LMS like features into Google Classroom. You'll see what they mean by that in the next couple of things here. All right. So one of the things they're going to do is they're going to allow you to integrate a variety of your favorite ed tech tools. Right. You don't really do things in Google Classroom. It's like the airport, right? It sends you elsewhere. But you're going to be able to pull things like from here, it looks like Kahoot or GimKit games in, and the students will be able to interact with their assignments in other ed tech areas, other programs right within Google Classroom and never leaving. And you can see on the little GIF they're showing you that you complete it and then the turn in button never leaves the screen because if you send kids off to create in Adobe or you do on Kahoot, and a lot of times they forget to actually hit that turn in. Well, here you go. It's all in one place. These will be apps will have to be connected to your Google Classroom by the admin. So that's coming up later this year, they said. Another of their ones that will, especially on Jay, will help us quite a bit is better integration with their student information systems. And they specifically mentioned Skyward. Right now, Skyward, there's already in beta a system that allows grades to export from Google Classroom to Skyward. We're not in that beta test, but it's working. So later this year, you're going to be able to send grades right to your Skyward from Google Classroom. So no more like doing it in Google and then updating Skyward. There'll be a few things you have to do, but it'll work that way. And then by next year, they said later this year, so by the beginning of next school year, Google Classroom will have the ability to pull kids' rosters right from for Skyward into Google Classroom, so you don't have to go through and kind of do it all by hand. They talked about creating a better hybrid learning environment for everybody involved. In the coming months later this year, teachers are going to be able to look at like more specific progress reports for your students. I know it would have been great to have this at the beginning of this school year. I guess better late than never, but it's going to show you what your students are and aren't doing. It'll give dates for when things were answered and submitted. So that will attendance issues that will help quite a bit for that one. So again, that's in later this year. They will also be adding later this year more functionality on with Google Classroom and how to do it offline. Their quote again right from their website. It says from the blog, the keyword blog, students will be able to start their work offline, review assignments, open drive attachments, and write assignments in Google Docs, all without an internet connection. That's huge. And I'll tell you, especially we live in the woods of North Coventry Township, and sometimes our internet stinks. And it's actually easier to turn off our Wi-Fi and use data. Well, this might help for students who A, don't have internet, or B, have weak internet too. All right. So again, that's coming later this year. Also coming later this year, improvements to pictures, which is kind of funny because in the seventh grade exploring tech classes, when I went in, one of the things that they talked about was they wish they could take better pictures to turn in for homework, it's going to happen. It's going to allow students to combine multiple pictures into one document. They'll be able to adjust lighting, make it just better for you to see and easier for them to see. So later this year, they'll have better pictures. They're trying to simplify the workflow for you guys, which is obviously huge and key, right? The simpler it is, the better. Google is making grading easier on mobile devices later this year through their app. More on that later coming. This is really cool, and this is coming out soon, really soon. I'm not sure exactly how soon, but we should be able to see the changes shortly. They're going to allow rich text formatting within Google Classroom. So you can now use things like bold, italics, underline, bullets. I can't tell you how excited I am for simplification of directions and you're drawing students' focus to where you want it to go. So that rich text formatting is coming soon, I promise. Then our last update for now for this one is they're going to soon, later this year, start to roll out originality reports in multiple languages. So this is great for the world language teachers, especially where now you can check for originality amongst documents within our own network and the web in different languages. So hopefully we get more soon on these updates, and I'll be able to help you with what any of these things you'd like to try and do. Thanks.